and welcome back. This is the third episode of how to milk a chicken. And we're going to make a stir fry tonight with some soba noodles. So I like soba noodles, but you don't have to use soba noodles if you don't have them. Soba noodles are Japanese buckwheat noodles. And if you can't find these or whatever, you can use any kind of noodle. And you can use this as just a spaghetti or an angel hair pasta will work just fine. So what are we going to do? Well, first of all, it's how to milk a chicken. And so one ingredient you're going to need is chicken. I'm making this for 2 people. So if you're like Anne Marie, my niece that asked me to do these videos, and if you're cooking for 1 person, go ahead and make it like this, and then you have your lunch ready to go the next day. So this is about 1 cup of the chicken that was roasted previously. This is a simple stir fry. It's going to go really, really fast, which makes it a great weeknight dinner. And you can throw in any vegetables that you happen to have. I've got leftover asparagus here. I've got a few leftover sugar snap peas. I've got a little bit of baby bok choy. You can use any kind of green if you want. You do not have to use these exact ingredients. This is a great meal for if you have a little of this and a little of that left over. I literally have 1.5 shiitake mushrooms. I have a hunk of ginger, a clove of garlic, and 1 dried red pepper, and 1 scallion. The other thing you're going to need to do is have a little bit of a sauce, which I'm going to make out of soy sauce and rice wine vinegar, along with a pinch of sugar. The other thing you're going to need is some sesame oil. This happens to be dark sesame oil, toasted, but it doesn't have to be that way. All right, I have now chopped up my ginger and my garlic, and my 1 clove of garlic and half of the ginger is now in this bowl, which we'll use when we're stir frying. And I'm going to make a little sauce in this bowl. I put the other half of the ginger in here. What I'm going to do is pour in half rice wine vinegar, half of the soy sauce. It's going to be about 2 tablespoons of each, roughly. You can measure or you can just eyeball it. It's put in just a tiny pinch of sugar, not much. And you want to stir that around. We're going to set that aside and we'll use that in a couple minutes. Next thing, we're just going to chop up some of the vegetables. Hot pepper goes in with the ginger. These are asparagus, and they are fairly thin, so they don't need to be split. If they were fatter, I would kind of cut them down in the middle. I'm going to cut them on the diagonal into approximately 1-inch pieces. Come back, you. For the onion, I'm going to cut the end off, and I'm going to cut that on the diagonal. This is just a spring onion. This is not a necessary ingredient. It's just a nice ingredient to have. Chopping it all up. Nothing needs to happen with the peas. The shiitake mushrooms, just going to get sliced. I'm going to put these things in a bowl. All these vegetables are going to go into a bowl. If you don't have a shiitake mushroom, or you don't like mushrooms, just don't use them. If you don't have a shiitake but you like mushrooms, button mushrooms will do. I want to talk to you about greens. I happen to have baby bok choy. You can use any green. You can use cabbage. You can use Chinese cabbage. You can use spinach. You can use any kind of green that you want, or no green at all. You really use the vegetable odds and ends that you have on hand. So this is a great way to make good use of the vegetables that you have. All right, I have 2 things going right now. On the one hand, I have a wok. If you don't have a wok, you can use just a regular skillet. That's fine. I also have over here a pan of water boiling, and I'm going to put the noodles into that. These are going to cook for about 4 minutes while I cook the other things. All right. So that's going. I don't usually use anything except for olive oil, but today I'm just going to use a neutral oil. This is a canola oil. You can use peanut oil, and that wok is really hot. You want it hot, and you want to pour about 2 tablespoons of oil into the wok. very quickly you're working. I'm taking the ginger and it's going to make a lot of noise, the ginger and the garlic and the hot pepper. I'm going to stir that around for about 20 seconds, just to infuse the oil. There we go. Next, I'm going to put in the chicken. This is pre-cooked, so it really doesn't have to cook long. It's just heating up. Now I'm going to add my sauce in to that. Make sure it's all covered. Everything gets nice and cooked in there. Now I'm going to take all of that. I'm going to put it back into a bowl. See how fast this goes. It really, once you've got everything going, it really goes. Now, oh, I've got a little crisis mounting over on the other side. It's all foaming up. It's okay. Take it off the heat for a minute. Stir it up. There you go. Bring it right back down. Next thing, I'm going to add a tiny bit of oil back in here, just a little. And I'm going to let it heat for a second or two. Now we're going to put in the vegetables. We're going to stir fry those around. We're going to coat them all with oil and then just let them cook a bit. They will start to wilt. This is kind of a multitasker's heaven here because you have to have a lot of things going on at once. It just goes really quickly. At this point, I'm going to take the soba noodles and I am going to drain them, run them under cold water. Why do I do that? I do that so that the noodles don't stick together. Meanwhile, back in the wok, things are rolling along pretty well. I am going to now put the chicken back in. Stir fry that around. Now I have my soba noodles, and I'm going to take some of the sesame oil and put it over those noodles. Nice, generous amount. That's going to be so good. All right. Next, we're going to take the soba noodles, dump them into the wok. Stir everything around. And just like that, dinner is ready. So that is how you make meal number 2, which is soba noodles with vegetables and chicken. Isn't that easy, Reed? Mm-hmm. And it was pretty quick. We've actually done this in just really a matter of probably 6 or 7 minutes altogether, which is not too bad. And it's going to be delicious. You know, one of the things I really like about soba noodles is they're made of buckwheat, which means that they're gluten-free. So for folks who are gluten sensitive, that's a really nice choice. Plus, they really taste good. Bon appetit. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you'll subscribe. Don't be scared to try something new. Don't be scared to cook. It's really not rocket science. And you can really milk a chicken. Take care. Bye.